time is not the only dimension of margin, but it's the one we relate to most easily. There are several other dimensions of margin that we should build into our lives for the unexpected: space, energy, finances, relationships. We're going to look at space from time, but we'll also look at energy. In his book Slack, Tom DeMarco uses the illustration of the numbered tile game. The game works because of the blank space. The blank space provides the game with agility. We can move any of the adjacent tiles into that space. However, modern management thinking seems to be blinkered in this respect. An efficiency auditor might look at this game, see the blank space, and say, it's a waste of a resource. It ought to be filled with another tile. But of course, as soon as we do so, all the tiles are locked in place with no room to move. That's what we do with our organizations. I was invited by a large health trust to look at their readiness to engage with and lead a major change. I interviewed each of the leaders. Not one of them had any idea of how they personally would reduce their current workloads to fit the major new initiative. Instead, all of them told me that their workloads were either likely to stay the same or would increase. None of them believed or hoped that their workloads would decrease enough for them to lead this major change. They have a problem. The problem is they have no slack. In my book, I tell the story of Julia, who is living in Overwhelm. The picture looks like this. She never has enough time. She has no time slack. She is hopelessly tired. Weariness and low morale and a fatigue overcomes her. No energy margin. And she is also living in a kind of crowded space, a cluttered space, both physical and internal, mental. So she is confused with distraction. All of these three forces are working on Julia right now in a vicious cycle. She is running on empty. Each of these three areas needs more slack, otherwise Julia will stay in hopelessness. Instead, I suggest an alternative life that can be lived at work. It looks like this. Here, someone is living with time margin. They have time sufficiency. They have space margin. They have an uncluttered, purpose-focused attention. And they have energy margin. They have an energizing care for themselves, so they bring energy to their work. This is a powerful person. Here, healthy margins build into us, allowing us to become powerful actors in our own story, moving us from being a victim to being the powerful people we truly are. I know which life I'd rather live.